Again, that's exactly what happens when you begin to define the structures that you perceive to be your reality. You fix them in your perception, and then they become real. When brother says you lose the experience and you don't allow it to define itself to you, that's how you forget that there is a language and there is an algebraic, logarithmic progression to the way the atoms come together to fix the reality. If you use the syntax to define something without giving it the freedom to release itself, to define itself, then you have boxed yourself into a false perception of reality, and you no longer grow with the reality. Those things that you call bird and what do you call it, were there to actually fix specific activities for your learning. Nature is a school. And why the natives and the brothers and sisters in the continent and the earlier places were so powerful and so heavy into metaphysics is because they understood the languages and the activities of the animals to be as teachers for you. Thus, the fact of the matter that animals do not change their activities once they have found a niche within their reality means that by their definite activity through their instincts, you can learn what to do and what not to do by observing them. And in the observation of the animals, which is why in the Bible they came first before you, because all animals are points of consciousness, points of quantumized consciousness to fix the school, the foundations for your school learning, for your perception. These animals get within the natural dynamic, set up a synchronistic relationship with it, and then set the powers and the energies into their cyclic manifestations. The animals' feces become part of the growth of the land. The bees begin to go from one flower to the next. The birds sing a song that allow the trees to vibrate in synchronicity with each other. These are the languages that your ancestors came from. And until you begin opening yourself up to those higher languages of reality, what we call reality, of the higher reality in mind, you will keep being fucked over by the reality they give you to react to.
Brother Valentine.
Yes, brother.
Brother Dr. John Moore used to take the brothers and sisters on these nature tours to get in contact with nature. I would like to, in the future, do something like that.
Yeah.
Because we have gotten so far away from nature.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's just like when you're talking about the Native Americans killing an animal and talking to that animal.
Right.
When you do watch these sports programs on TV, the white man will say that the animal is beautiful after he killed that animal.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. I've seen it.
This is a beautiful buck, right?
Yeah. Look at them horns.
Look at those horns.
Yeah.
So in the future, very soon, maybe in August, I would like to organize a nature walk.
Well, you know that you pulling me right back in it. I feel like Don Al Pacino, and they can pull me back in. We used to do that in our metaphysics, classes. We used to take them out in the park, and the park ranger used to say, "What they're doing over there? You can't do no rituals in there. No I said, "This is no ritual. This is a school. They're spinning pendulums. The women are taking copper wire and putting it around specific door points of energy in the tree and attaching it to their wombs, getting rid of their fibroid tumors. Oh, all of the magic is out there. See, that's what I used to teach until they stole the place." You know, ain't complaining though, because I know they took it for a reason. That was the end of that cycle there. The new cycle is coming up, and this is why I have to pull away, because if I continue to do this, it will trap me in itself. These last 7 years of me doing this with you, traveling all over the world doing this, has fixed me. And I can't stay fixed. I'm sorry, I'm a 7. After 7, I'm gone. I can't do that in my teaching. If I'm teaching one thing too much, I get bored, I get tired, and then you don't learn because I don't want to teach. But if I feel that I stay within my own quantumized format, relative to my enhancement, then I will grow, and then when I come back, I got more shit so that we can party with. You see? And that's how it's got to work. And that's where you got to feel for yourself. There are cycles of evolution within each one of you all. And you have to find that place. And be brave and courageous enough to say, fuck everything else. I got to take this new move, because that's when the universe gives you what you want. You got to get it into the cycles like your ancestors did. Because when he came, he fucked up everything. He gave you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. He gave you January, February, March, April, May, June. It's bullshit. He gave you 60 seconds. Now he's cutting up 60 seconds. This motherfucker's crazy. He does not have any perception of what real time is. Real time is his own quantumized madness. See, time where we need to be should not exist, because the present perception of time is pathological. 9 to 5. 9 to 5 is your slave time on the plantation. And then the rest of the time you go home and hope you can learn something. Hope you can get to know your wife and your husband. Hope you can get to know your children. And then you're back up again. Back again in the plantation, this time in the concrete plantation. Yes, beloved.
Do you agree with Elijah Muhammad's concept that we have no beginning and no end?
Exactly.
How is that?
There is no beginning, because that would imply that the Creator had a beginning. And thus, if anything created by the Creator has no beginning or end, thus it always was. Thus it is the Creator and not a beginning. The perception of beginnings means certain cycles of that retraction. In other words, remember when I said the Creator retracted 10% in order to create a field of awareness to give permission for its own self to exist so it can examine itself. That definition of that thing, that 10%, is called ignorance. The field of ignorance had to be created out of the field of all-knowing, so that all-knowing could know itself. If it did not retract from itself to create a place of lack, then we would never know what the fullness of that thing we left is. And again, it's all the Creator playing with itself. There's nothing that is existing today that has never had existed. If I'm going to get that together, let me see that one more time. There isn't anything existing today that has not existed. Period. That what this is just taking the mass pool of clay and then shaping it into something else. And the beautiful thing about it is the Creator, through the Brahmins and through Krishna said, I will give you all that you survey. Once you understand who you are in relationship to all those things, and then you come back to me. This is what he's saying to Arjuna and to Krishna talking to, I think it was Arjuna, and anyone else. He says, after you have attained Godhead and you become one with me, still will you not be yourself? Because then that would be suicide. Everybody said, well, you have to get lost in the one. This is white people interpretation. You got to be absorbed into the one to understand it. No, you don't. The fact of the matter is this 10% will stay that way forever through what is known as the cyclic sleep and the waking of Brahma. The waking, you know, when they want to put the map to how long the night of Brahma is and the day of Brahma is, you put